when such a critical piece of legislation is before debate?
Well, it depends on the person who is having that excuse. Some people sometimes are out of the country. Others are probably, like I know one member of parliament who was handling a police case. There's a Wanjiku Moher who was being sought by police for some utterances I think she had done sometimes earlier. So we had that, and I know Honorable Dininyoro had also excused himself that he was having a meeting, was attending somewhere, I think in Botswana. So, but I think those are the only two members who were to vote against this bill who were not able to be there. But for all the other members who are supporting the bill, we first noticed on Tuesday when this bill was tabled, the members of parliament from Mount Kenya region who support William Ruto did not show up at all, except Ichung'wah and Kimani Kuria and Murugara. Those are the only three members who showed up on that day. Then the following day, on Wednesday in the morning, again, they were totally absent, now including Kimani Kuria. The only member who was in from Mount Kenya region was Ichung'wah, and I saw the member of parliament from Odhaya, who also did not put his card. So he was not going to make any input. He's seated at the corner at the back and was watching what is happening and what people are saying. And later on, at around 12:48 p.m., when a vote was just about to be taken, I saw members trooping in. Meaning, those members were all along at the cafeteria taking tea. And they were whipped by their whip, Osoro, to come into the house. So we saw them trooping in, making a lot of noise, and of course came and took the vote. And by exactly 1:05, the House was adjourned, awaiting another session at 2:30 p.m.
If I may ask the significance of what you're saying here, is that the very debate around the matters that went into this bill, or the issues, the factors, the elements of this bill, the debate around it then was not properly executed.
It was not.
So people just came and whitewashed it with a vote.
It was not executed because when this vote was being taken at around 12:48, 12:50 to stop the debate, there were so many members who were still very interested to make their contribution in this debate, particularly the members who are opposing, because we were more at this point in time.
And during the second reading?
Yeah, that is, for us now to proceed to the third reading, or to the committee of the whole. Now, we were many who actually wanted to make a contribution. I had been there personally from Tuesday at 2:30. I was there up to the close of day at 6:30, at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, awaiting to make my contribution. I did not get the opportunity. I was there again the following day, and I was next online. And just when I was supposed to now be called to make a contribution, the speaker declared that now we want to stop the debate. And now members were called to come and vote. And they gladly came to vote that we stop any debate on this finance bill. And immediately they left for lunch, and now came later for the committee of the whole. Of course, now I was able to make my voice now in the committee of the whole. I did make several contributions during that time. But at the second reading is when we had sufficient time to ventilate onto most of the crucial issues, at least 10 minutes at the second reading. And I felt offended that actually someone came and took a vote, someone who was not in, and then left immediately and denied me the opportunity to make a 10-minute presentation of what I had prepared on issues that I thought were contentious in this bill.
I mean, Kaguchia, that speaks a lot in terms of the leadership of the House, because then one asked the question, at the time when you were there, you had logged in, you had made your request to make your contribution. The speaker, who was in charge at the time, ought to have at least given time to everybody who was on their tablet with their request to participate. But when you talk of individuals who, first of all, were not in the House, were whipped to come in to take a vote, that speaks of a House, first of all, that has a leadership problem. Is that the case, that the leadership of the House has been captured by powers nobody knows?
I mean, that is not in question. That is not in question. I mean, that is what is happening in the Kenyan parliament today. the leadership of the House is totally in the hands and in the pocket of the executive. And they make their bidding for executive. Sometimes they even make them fool of themselves by how they are overdoing it. Even sometimes, I'm sure when the president is seated in State House, he also wonders, how can someone get this law? And so he is able to control, manipulate, arm twist, and remote control the parliament from where he sits in a way that really makes us very upset and very dissatisfied with that aspect. I for example, I could not understand just how the debate was hurriedly stopped. And again, of course, it was done in a dramatic way as to ambush the people who would have wanted to contribute against this bill. And even they were laughing at us. Today we have ambushed you, because there was someone who had been assigned to count us. And they were counting how many members of the opposition are in the House. And the moment they realized the number was about 25 is when now they strike. And of course they were laughing about it. So they were doing this in a dramatic way, in a way that is not right, of course. And they were doing this to ensure that they reduce any discussion and debate by members who are exposing many things that were in this bill that were not right.
Kaguchia, you're saying that almost 25 had been lined up to speak, and that you were denied an opportunity to discuss pretty much the bill at the time.
Yeah.
Does it mean, therefore, that proper discourse on this finance bill from pretty much members of the House was